In this Arca Minute, I'll be demonstrating a few different ways in which Islandora Usage Stats lets you collect, access, and display your repository's usage statistics. This built-in module collects information about users' interactions with your objects and saves it to the database on your Islandora server. That data can be accessed by custom modules or views. If you watched the previous Arca Minute, you will have already interacted with some of the custom modules that play off of Islandora Usage Stats. We have CSV, usage reports, charts. So once you enable the Islandora Usage Stats module under the modules menu, of course, it will start tracking. If you don't have it enabled, it won't track. Once you turn it on, you're starting from zero. So here we have Islandora Usage Stats enabled. Now you can configure Islandora Usage Stats under the Islandora menu, Islandora Utility Modules, Islandora Usage Stats Settings, to customize a few things, including which IP addresses to ignore and not count views and downloads from, cooldown time, the option whether or not to exclude bots. You can customize your regex for how to identify a bot. You can also clear out the usage logs for all of your objects or for specific objects. Now, this module provides a few different views and blocks that contain data about your objects and collections. One quick way that you can get an overview of your repository usage statistics is with the Islandora Usage Stats report under Reports, Islandora Usage Stats. Here you'll get a list of how many times your object has been viewed, which you can filter by date range and by collection. And then you could export all that data to a CSV for further analysis. So for example, if we only wanted the usage data between March 1st and today, we can filter that way. And we can filter to even just the specific collection. And these are only objects in the collection that has the title that contains basic. There's the CSV link. Now under the Blocks menu, Structure, Blocks, you'll find a few more usage stats display tools, which can give you some interesting data about your collections. In general, these are probably best placed on a specific usage data page rather than having them appear on every page in your site. So I'll show you a few of them. There's the Islandora collection object count listing. This is a count of how many collections and objects are in your repository. So you can see this block can be customized so that you can exclude certain content models. For example, if you don't consider pages of books to be, or newspapers to be objects, you don't want to count them here. Let's put it into the content region. And as I said, this is the kind of thing that you don't necessarily want appearing on every page. So I've created a separate usage data page. We'll say only the listed pages. And we'll save it. And there we go. We have 266 items excluding newspaper and book pages in 18 collections. There's the most viewed objects, or most viewed Islandora items. This does what it says on the tin. And if you configure it, you can exclude certain objects from appearing in that listing, such as the root collection. If you don't want, other collections or specific objects to appear, you can enter them here. Let's throw that into the content section as well. We'll make sure it only appears on the usage data page. There it is. The most viewed objects and collections. We have a couple more. There's the recently viewed. Whoops. Ah. Oh, the recently accessed. There it is. The recently accessed Islandora items. There's the recently downloaded Islandora items. Again, they do what they say on the tin. They just show what was most recently accessed. And we'll want to make sure that these two are only appearing in the usage data page. So it'll just show you the top 5 most recently accessed items, the most recently downloaded ones. You can even show the most searched terms. So if you want to know which keywords are popular at any given moment, you can see where they are. Now, for some reason, this isn't working in my Vagrant site very well. I don't think I do a lot of searches, and it excludes my own IP address. So you can't really see what happens with it. But if you check out that block on the Arca page, there you'll see the most commonly searched terms. That includes an empty search where you're just trying to return everything. And the last of these is the usage stats for collections block. Now, this is the one block that is actually useful if it appears on all the pages instead of just a single page, because its data is contextual. So we'll just restrict it to Islandora pages. So if we look at a collection, oops, put it in the sidebar. There we go. So this shows you the objects that are being used in this particular collection. We'll go to the root collection. It shows you the usage of all of the collections inside it. If we go to the citation collection, it will show you the views for each of the objects in the citation collection. Islandora Usage Stats also feeds into views, so you can create your own custom views on this data. To create a view using Usage Stats, you can go to Structure, Views, and add a new view. So you can give your view a name. Under Show, you can see that there are several different options for usage stats data that you can view on. You're probably most interested in object access, which is view counts, and data stream downloads, which is download counts. Let's create a download view. So right now this by default only shows you log IDs, which are not very useful. The number of fields that are available to usage stats are unfortunately pretty limited, but they can provide you with some good information. We'll throw in, for example, the data stream ID that was downloaded. You could get the user's IP address if you wanted to, not necessarily recommended. time that it was logged, all that good stuff. So the process of actually building a view, of course, is best left for another tutorial. But we do have a ready-made downloads view available for you so that you don't need to make your own if you don't want to. This is called Islandora Data Stream Downloads Report. And we'll enable it here. Already enabled on mine. Once the module is enabled, you can go to your site /download_stats to get an overview of all the times a download has occurred within whatever date range, and a CSV export you can analyze. So let's just change this to from between 2017 until today. And so there is one of the objects that was downloaded, the only download that happened. We'll download the CSV. And there it is. The object PID, the title of it, the date that it was downloaded, and the data stream. You can see it live on the Arca site with a bit more data. So you can see it's broken up by the object PID and then all of the downloads that occurred. Object PID, all the downloads that occurred. Download the CSV. This will take a while because we have quite a range here. There you go. So you have one row per download. You can create your own formulas to aggregate them, count them, whatever you like.